Hi, I'm Neve David, and I am doing my author discussion on Octavia Butler and the Parable of the Sowers, chapters 13 through 20. Octavia Estelle Butler was born on June 22nd, 1947, in Pasadena, California. She moved to Washington in around 1999, and when she was 58 years old, she passed away from a stroke in Washington. Her mother was named Octavia Margaret Guy as well, so they both have the same name, and she was a housemaid. And Octavia Butler's childhood nickname was Junior or Junie, and they claim that it was Junior or Junie because her mom's name was Octavia as well. And her father's name was Lawrence James Butler, and he died when she was around 7 years old, but he was a shoe shiner before he died. And then Octavia grew up with her mom and her grandmother. I don't know why I just said it like that. Her work, when she was around 10 years old, she got her first typewriter, which was a Remington typewriter. And Kindred was one of her first pieces that was inspired by her mother at work. Since her mother was a housemaid, most of the stories throughout her work in Kindred was when her mom was at work, and they were all like things that she had seen when her mother was at work. When she was around the age of 12, she saw Devil Girl from Mars, and that was a sci-fi movie or show. It was on the TV. And when she saw this, she realized that she could do better in sci-fi, and she thought that she can do better work than this movie/TV show. So she decided to start writing fiction. School began to be very hard for her in high school because she found out that she had an undiagnosed dyslexia, and it made it very hard for her, as well as she got made fun of a lot for her height because in high school she was already around 6 feet at the age of 15. One of her classmates commented on her work of Kindred, and because of this, she got a $5,000 advance for this career breakthrough story, which was Kindred. And after graduation, she decided to start working as a potato chip inspector because she had no other way to take care of herself. So this $5,000 advance she could live off for forever, which was really awesome for her. Other important information and fun facts about Octavia was that she loved to travel, and a lot of her work was based on what she traveled about. She was also one of the first sci-fi people to get a MacArthur Genius Grant Award. A fun fact was that she never read critical theory, she never drove, and when she actually moved to Washington, she brought 300 boxes of books with her, and she had 35 award wins and nominations. So my overall review and critique of chapters 13 through 20 was, I believe that there was way more pain than happiness throughout these chapters. For example, in chapter 19, there was an earthquake, and good things about it, which caused a little bit of happiness throughout these chapters, was that she helped a falling man, and she saw an African American man smile at her, and she really enjoyed his smile, so she smiled back. Another experience of some sort of happiness was her love with Curtis, but once they started talking about it, the talk didn't go very well, so it showed more pain, as well as there was a lot of death. I felt like throughout every chapter I read, all I saw was death. In around chapters 13 through 15, Octavia talks about Lauren's information that she spreads to Zara and Harry about Harry's family and how they all passed away. And I think that convinced Harry to travel with her, and it was better than being starving is one thing that she did say. But overall, I think chapter 20 had the most violence because in chapter 20 there was a lot of the earthquake was explained a lot, and how scavengers, police, and pyro addicts throughout that chapter showed more and more pain and torture to the town. And they also explained that there was a 3-year-old looking for his dead mother, which was really upsetting to her, and she didn't know what to do. As well as in chapter 20, there was a truck and a gunfight. So the truck was on fire, and then two people started fighting each other for the gun. So overall, I just think there was a lot of pain that she felt through her hyper-empathy, and that's why I chose this picture on the bottom. I know exactly how you feel. I chose this because the hyper-empathy that she feels throughout these chapters really shows a lot of pain and a lot of torture. But she also shows a lot of motivation to get to where she wants to get to. Thank you so much. I also forgot my works cited, so I wanted to show you guys that. So here it is, and I will leave it up there for a second. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for listening, and I hope you enjoy my author discussion.